and I go through colonoscopy, and they diagnosed me with ulcerative colitis. That's how it started, and from there on, it just started getting worse and worse due to the medications. First, it was just bleeding, a low stomach pain, and then once I started taking medications, it just got worse. Side effects was the biggest thing. That was the thing that just took me out. Like the information you guys provided, everything was just on the spot. It showed me that there's a way to get rid of this, and I was in it, and I was ready for a different way to get rid of it. Amazing, man, amazing. And just meeting with you every 2 weeks, I was looking forward to it every time. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna talk about something today. We're gonna talk about something different. You coaching me through everything I ate, like everything that went to, like, to clean my guts. So that's helpful. Like all the meetings that we had, it was all amazing. Within 3 weeks, my bleeding stopped. It was hard, but like when I saw the results, I'm like, this is working. I'm gonna continue this. After 3 weeks, it stopped, and then we continued for like 4 or 5 weeks, different phases. And I started loving it because you started adding more things to it. You can have some rice, you can have a little quinoa, you can start adding more veggies to like avocado, stuff like that. I was like, oh. Even right now, I tell people, I'm like, vegan, man. That's it. That's the way to go. Plant-based is the way to go. And they laugh at me, but you know what? I'm standing in front of y'all today. That is the reason for it. Plant-based is the reason for it. Well, training is going to make, like, I wouldn't be able to do that without you guys and without like you providing me all the information and stuff to like take care of myself. Bowel movement, amazing, man. I go to the bathroom like once or twice the most. It's just like soft, clean. Like you can tell your like gut is clean, like comes out clean, to be honest. And my goal is to run pretty fast to like where I can make this a living, running a professional life. That's what I'm looking forward to doing it. And I just like, with you guys' help, that it's not doable. Thank you, man. No regrets now. We're gonna go tackle the future. Yes, sir. Thank you. You have done amazing for me. Like you've done I can't thank you enough, to be honest. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at today without you. So thank you.
Give this video a thumbs up if you know what it's like to live with IBD, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. This channel is designed to help people recover from colitis, Crohn's, and any other form of IBD. You can always head to our website, highcarbhealth.com, for a free 30-minute consultation from anywhere in the world. And remember, there is a life after colitis. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of IBD Heal, a podcast brought to you by High Carb Health. I'm your host, Shukul, and today we're joined by Abdi. Welcome to the show.
Hi everyone. Thank you so much, Shukul, for having me here. I'm glad to be doing this. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Abdi has been on our program and healed himself of his IBD. He's now symptom and medication free, and he's got an amazing story to share. So how about we just start off with a little bit about, some of the things that you're currently doing in your life and why it was so important for you to heal yourself from this condition.
Okay, so there are a lot of things that the symptoms I had made me like I couldn't do it. So like I'm a track and field athlete, so I run a lot. I run for the program called Portland State University. So I'm a long distance runner, and when I got the UC first, I couldn't do any of that. So this like it was horrible. It was terrible. So now I can do all that and symptom free, medication free. So yeah, I'm very, very happy.
So basically, guys, if Abdi had not been able to resolve his condition, his dream of being a track and field athlete and a high level runner would have been pretty much destroyed, right?
Yeah, it would have been like I've thought about it many times, just trying to hang it up, quit. I didn't see other options. I was like, okay, this medications are not working. What can I do? Like, there was like I was just down bad, really bad.
Absolutely. So let's start at the beginning. Where did this all begin for you, and what symptoms were you experiencing that made you think, oh my gosh, something's not quite right here?
So at first it was like back in I'll say June of 2021. I just started seeing blood in the stool, and I'm like, this might be some, hemorrhoid or like some kind of bleeding, in the rectum. I didn't take it too serious. I'm like, okay, this is nothing serious. It's gonna go away. And it keeps going and going and going. Like 2 months later, it's still going. I'm like, what is going on? And then the symptoms start happening, like stomach pain. I started having like a little more diarrhea, and I'm like, I need to go see a doctor. I didn't want to go see a doctor. My wife was like, you need to go see a doctor. And then I go to the doctor, and they're like, this can be some rectum stuff, so nothing wrong with you. Just go back home. You'll be fine soon. I just come back, and then a month later, it still goes on. And then I go back to the doctor, and he sends me to specialist. And I'm like, what is going on? And they look into it. They're like, we'll have to do a colonoscopy to find out what it is, what's going on. And I go through a colonoscopy, and they diagnose me with ulcerative colitis. That's how it started. And from there on, it just started getting worse and worse due to the medications. First, it was just bleeding, a low stomach pain. And then once I started taking medications, it just got worse. It completely got worse. It was just insane.
And what did they tell you when you got diagnosed? Like, talk to people, because a lot of the times, you get diagnosed and then, it's like, oh my gosh, what is this first of all? And then, the doctors start telling you about what you're in store for. Like, what did they tell you when you first got diagnosed?
Like, I've never heard of what they said. They said ulcerative colitis. I'm like, what is that? Like, never in my life have I heard of that. I'm like, what is this? And they're like, it's ulcerative colitis. This is something that we cannot diagnose. We don't have no medications that will make like diagnose and get rid of it. That like you'll have the rest of your life. We'll get you on medications that will, put it under control. Maybe put you on like remission, like get it away for a little while. And they just started throwing different types of medications at me, like, try this, don't work, try this, try this. It was crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah. So talk about the different types of medications you tried, and what happened when you were taking them. Like, did you have side effects? Did they increase your symptoms? What was happening?
Oh yeah, side effects was the biggest thing. That was the thing that just took me out. Like, they started giving me prednisone, which was like steroids. So I started taking that for like the first 3-4 months. And just the symptoms were just out the roof, man. I couldn't even walk at some point. Like, my knees were hurting, my cheeks, like I got big. It's just I wanted to eat food left to right. It was crazy. Like, it wasn't stopping the bleeding, and it was giving me too much side effects. So they took me out of that, and then they gave me balsalazide. I think it was called that, balsalazide. So they told me to take that. I started taking that, and then I just started having diarrhea nonstop. It wouldn't go away. It was crazy. And then like, oh, this is not working, and then we'll try something else. And then they tried mesalamine. I think that's what it was. And then there was multiple other medications I don't remember now. It's been a while, but yeah, they kept on switching it off and on and bringing back prednisone back to me, and it wasn't working. The side effects was more than what I had. That side effects got like more like things into my life than the ulcerative colitis I had before. It was just bleeding, and the low stomach pain. But like, this medication is just, it took me out. I was at home, couldn't go nowhere. It's my couch, back to the bathroom, couch to the bathroom. No sleep. It was crazy.
Yeah, and you're not the only one that has this experience. We hear from so many people that tell us that the medications didn't help them and made them worse. It didn't give them any relief. And so, there's so much research actually that shows that the medications are not actually very effective. Less than 50% for the majority of them. Of people get into remission. So it's, the people, well, the doctors claim that you're going to get a lot of benefit, or it's going to solve your problems, but more often than not, it doesn't. And you're living proof of that.
Yeah. The amount of times I've been to the ER, like, more than I've ever been in my whole life. I lived there basically. They left to right, they'll just prescribe me something different and try this. Like, they had no other solutions. It was crazy.
So talk about what's going through your mind at that point, because obviously you had certain aspirations athletically and to try and get into a particular profession that needs your body to be very healthy. What's going through your mind at that point? And, what are you thinking?
Like I just gave up, man. I had like no hope in the future. I'm like, I'm like, this is not gonna go away. The doctors tell me like this is something you have for the rest of your life. They're not giving me hope of that too at the same time. And I'm like, if they're giving me these medications and I want to do this in life and it's not working out, so it's like I want to, I'm just at home thinking like, there's no way I'm gonna come back from this. There's no way, there's no way I'm gonna do the things I love. There's no way I'm gonna get out of the house. It was insane. I even thought about like surgery, like trying to like go through that. They gave me that option too. Like there are times where I just didn't communicate with them because they're like, well, we'll want to do surgery. That might be better option for you. And it was crazy. Yeah. Family members telling me, try this. Family members even giving me medications to try, like, see if it's gonna work. It's crazy. Yeah, it was the worst time of my life, I'll tell you that.
Wow. Thank you for sharing, man. That's real personal. It's not easy to kind of relive that as well in your mind. But I think for people who are listening and watching, it's important to realize that you've been through a really tough experience, and then look at you now, right? So just because you're going through the worst part of your life doesn't mean that you can't turn it around and change it. So, how long did that last? Like, how long was that period when you were, going through the medical experiment as such?
Yeah, well, I think it started August of 2021. That's when I like started medication. That's when I had the colonoscopy in August. And then it goes on until like 2022, May of 2022. And then I had a month of like, okay, like no bleeding. And it was okay. I was still on medication. The side effects was still there. Like body was hurting, like bones were, I was just taking too many medications. And I was good for like a month and a half. And then it came back. And it was just like, I'm like, this, I actually thought it was done and it was gone away. I'm like, oh yeah, it worked. And then it comes back worse than before. So, and then that second time when he came back, it was gone. It was going on for about like until I talked to you guys, which was in what was it, in June or July of 2022.
Right.
I think it was one of those, or August, June, July, or August, sometime there. That was the worst time. Like when the second time he came back, worst.
Yeah, I still remember that first conversation I had with you. You were in,
back
25 times a day. It was
I had no sleep 24 hours. I'm like up on my bed, like going to the bathroom. 2 minutes later, I'm going back. 5 minutes later, I'm going back. It's just like it was forth and back to the bathroom. And I waited like 120. I'm an athlete. So I was a lightweight at the moment. I lost 30 pounds. Like I was like 95, 90-ish pounds. Like I couldn't even look at myself. I was like, this is crazy. And I'll go to the bathroom. I'll like throw up. Nothing will come out. Like I'll go to the bathroom. Just like the water I just drank will just come out right away. A couple of minutes later, it was insane.
It's unreal. And so what made you think of speaking to us? Like, how did you find us? What made you want to think about joining or even just having a chat to Shamiz about, what your options were?
It wasn't
your
me.
wife? Was your wife?
My wife.
Oh yeah. Full credit.
She's been doing research left to right, like ever since I got it. She was looking every option, everything, like looking to do, like getting me off the medications. That was all her. Like connecting with you guys, that was all her. So it was like I couldn't do anything. So she was doing everything. So I'm glad to have her. So that is the main reason why I got connected with you guys.
Okay, wonderful. And talk us through that initial meeting with Sham. Like, what were you discussing with him, and what did he tell you?
We discussed it. Like he told me his story and how he got in, what happened for him, and I was inspired. I'm like, this is something I want to do. This is like this medications. I've given it so much time, and it's not working. So I need to try something different. Yeah, just his story just inspired me. I'm like, I want to be like him 10 years from now.
Yeah.
So it was, he sold me on the spot.
Yeah, amazing. And so talk to the audience about what you get when you join the program, like the information pack, the education piece. Just explain some of that what you get, and then we'll talk about our initial conversation and what we did to kind of get things back on track.
Yeah, for you guys, just like having all that information you guys provided about food and how to start and how to eat, what to eat, plant-based, and at first I'm like, plant-based? I'm like, I can't quit eating meat. I can't, like I can't stop having outside food. It was just, I'm like, this is gonna be hard. But the information you guys provided, everything was just on the spot. Like it showed me that there's a way to get rid of this, and I was in it, and I was ready for a different way to get rid of it.
Yeah,
Even
amazing.
even watching that one movie you guys sent it to me. What was it called? Game Changer.
Game Changers, yeah.
That that was also like seeing all those athletes, and I'm like, yeah, I want to do it.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't realize that the plant-based diet actually gives you an athletic advantage.
Yeah, more advantage to those who are actually putting different food in their body.
Yeah, and we'll talk about some of the differences you've noticed with your training as well, as we get to the other end of the story. But so I remember when I first had my initial call with you, I think as we talked about, you were going more than 20 times a day to the bathroom, and you're in a really bad way. And so one of the things we did, I think, if I remember correctly, is you weren't having any salt in your diet. And I think you were very dehydrated, weren't you?
Yeah, I was dehydrated. It was crazy.
So one thing people don't realize is that, the benefit of having some coaching is that you can quickly identify maybe some of the things you're not quite doing right. Because he was doing, he's starting to follow the diet. He was doing some good things, but, in David Klein's book, he says not to consume any salt. So, Abdi had decided not to have any salt in his diet. And if you're going 20 times a day, you can lose electrolytes really, really fast. Yeah. So one of the first things we did was actually put a bit of salt back into your diet. And what happened? Like, it was like 2 or 3 days.
Couple of days, I was feeling way better. I needed that. Like, that's something I needed for sure. I mean, like you wouldn't tell someone to like go, hey, drink water, add salt to it and drink it. Like they'll be like, what are you talking about, man? You trying to kill me or something? Like that was it was a game changer.
Yeah. So you quickly went from like 20 something plus bowel motions to below 10, I think, within in less than a week.
Yeah, within less than a week.
Yeah. So that was something that we quickly identified, working with him, understanding what he was going through, what he was doing with his diet, and then made that adjustment. Obviously I didn't have your blood test, so I couldn't be sure, but it was a educated guess, basically, after working with hundreds of people, that there could be something missing here. And it was on the money, thankfully for you. And so that kind of started with the plant-based diet. And how did you find it, like, making those changes to the plant-based diet? And talk to people about how your body changed as you went through the program.
It wasn't an easy thing, like changing from what I used to eat to like having like the first 3 weeks. I think you had me on potatoes, and that was hard. I was just eating mashed potatoes, having potatoes with just salt, and that was like that was eye opening. Like, how am I gonna live off this? To start.
Now, I'll just stop you there for a second, because I don't do that with every single person. Just depends on how severe your condition is. So not everyone has to go as strict as Abdi had to do initially. So most people start on the transition diet where they have a bit more variety. But with you, because of where you were at, we had to be very careful with what we put into your bowel. But anyway, carry on.
Definitely, yeah, and that's something that worked. Like, that's what I needed it to start off like that. For about 3 weeks, all I was having was like potatoes and like all those you had me on. Like, I think doing juicing in the morning and having, I think I was having like a juice I was having a smoothie for a lunch and dinner for the potatoes. So for like doing that for 3 weeks, I think within 3 weeks my bleeding stopped. I think that's what it was. 3 weeks it stopped, and I was like, oh God, that's amazing. I continued doing that you didn't like tell me like switch out right away, so we had to go on to do that, and it was hard, but like when I saw the results, I'm like, this is working. I'm gonna
Mm,
continue this, and with the help of my wife, and it was easy. It was easy.
mm, mm. And yeah, so your bleeding stopped pretty quickly, but your symptoms are still kind of there for a little bit longer. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, talk about how that shifted till they eventually decided to go away altogether, and you started training again quite soon, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to start training right away, and you were like, "Hey, hold up, let's give it some time." I wanted to like train like the team camp was coming up, so like
Mm,
waiting. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to wait and go to the school where everybody else was training the whole summer, and
mm,
I'm showing up right now where I haven't even ran
mm,
at all. So, the process of just having like the diet change was just good, and we continued that for a while, and like until I think it was until like November around there, or mid-August. No, November. Yeah, we continued for like after 3 weeks it stopped, and then we continued for like 4 or 5 weeks, different phases.
mm,
And I started loving it because you started adding more things to it. You can have some rice, you can have a little quinoa, you can
mm,
start adding more veggies to like avocado stuff like that. I was like, oh, this is getting
mm,
better. It's getting
mm,
better. So yeah,
mm.
I love every step of it because it brought me back
Yeah,
to where I'm at.
absolutely. Talk about how your taste buds change as well, because people are like, "Oh, I don't think I can, I don't think I'll enjoy it if I change my diet to a plant-based diet." And everyone's had that thought, right? You've had that thought, thinking, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this?" I had that thought. I used to be a big meat eater, to think, "Oh, can I actually, follow a plant-based diet? Will I enjoy it?" But your taste buds change, don't they?
It did. It did. It was hard at first, and the more you're in it, and then you learn more. Like learning more from you guys, like the way
Hmm.
the things to eat is gotten. The more I continued on it, the better it's gone. Like at one point, I'm like, I don't think I can do this for my whole life. I
Hmm.
can't change. I need to go back to eating what I used to eat. But yeah, it's gotten better the longer I did it. Like I learned more, like more what do you call it, recipes, like different food to cook and different food to eat. With
Hmm.
the help of my wife, she's like doing everything, to be honest. Like she did all of it. So I thank her
Hmm.
for that. But yeah, I flipped the switch. I'm like, this even right now I tell people I'm like, vegan, man. That's it. That's the way to go. Plant-based is the way to go. And they laugh at me. But you know what? I'm standing in front of y'all today. That is the reason for it. Plant-based is the reason for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing, amazing. And so, yeah, so talk about kind of like um how it went after like because you got to the end of the program and you were feeling pretty good, but you did have a couple of setbacks, didn't you, along the way where you may have like relaxed a little bit with your sleep and
Yeah.
with your
Yeah.
lifestyle and things like that. So just talk to the audience about the importance of all the other lifestyle aspects as well, and then how you overcame that again.
So yeah, I the bleeding came back for like I think a month and a half
Hmm.
or so while I was training, I was doing full-time work, and I was, going to school at the same time. So there was a lot of
Hmm.
stress, a lot of like less sleep and stuff going on. But the thing was I didn't panic. Like I knew
Hmm.
like without medication, what made it worse with medication, like I just needed to step back, like slow down and like take care of myself for a little bit. And that's like
Hmm.
thanks to you, like you're like, Abdi, just do this, cut a little bit off and like go back to like different types of phases, like just slowly work up again.
Hmm.
That helped. Like I didn't need to panic. Like it didn't stop my daily life. I still ran, I still went to school, I still did my job. I just needed to like slow down a little bit and then take care of myself.
Hmm.
Like and that it wasn't that bad. Like
Nah.
it wasn't as
No, because
scary
you've
as
done
like
all the hard work before. You've done all the hard work to heal yourself. And what
it
can
was just
happen
my
for
body.
people? Yeah, the body
It
tells
was
you, right? The body
Hey, go
tells
ahead.
you when you're pushing it too hard, and we have to
Yeah.
listen. If we don't listen, it gets worse and worse. So that's why, I think you called me and you said, look, this is what's happening. What should I do about it? I said, look, first we had to investigate, right? Figure out why
Yeah.
this is happening because there's always a reason. It doesn't come out of nowhere. And so, we figured out that you've been, being a bit more relaxed about how late you go to sleep, and then the stress was there, and those kind of things. So, I think you just corrected a couple of those lifestyle factors, and then yeah,
Yeah.
it's gone again. And I think you're telling me, because we hadn't spoken for a couple of months now, I think. So, your last 3 or 4 months have been pretty amazing, you're saying.
Yeah. It was just listening to my body. It was just telling me to back up, slow down a little bit. You're not. Hey, you got to take care of your body for a second. I was also doing like high training at the same time, like running like 70 miles a week and consistency. So it was just a lot of stress and a lot of like less sleep and stuff like that going on. So I just needed to slow down and back up and get back to my groove.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing that I think, I tell this to all my clients, is that we want to give you the information so that, even if you're not working with us, you know what to do if something happens, right? So if you relax or you slip up on some of these lifestyle factors and you see some symptoms coming back, it's very easy to try and outline, based on the information you already know, what to correct to make things better again. And so you were able to do that really well. Yeah, I think we can move into what your life is like now. So how's training going? How's the life? How are your bowel motions? All these kind of things. Let's talk to everyone about what it feels like to be healed.
Well, training is going to be like, I wouldn't be able to do that without you guys and without like you providing me all the information and stuff to like take care of myself. Training has been amazing. I've been like running like 65 miles a week, racing and all that. I'm still doing my job. I'm going to school. I'm about to graduate soon. Everything is going amazing. Like everything is going well.
Yeah, just to let you guys know how fast this guy is, he just ran a 5K 2 or 3 weeks ago in 14 minutes and 28 seconds. That is like, my mind like scrambles at the thought of that, man, because I don't think I could run that fast for 500 meters.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, a couple years back, if I like before when I got the UC, if I like, I don't think I would look forward and be like, I'm gonna run that time. That was not on my mind. Running was not on my mind. Couple like when this started first, when I was diagnosed with this at first. So yeah, thanks to you guys that 28 was with you guys' help.
A couple of other things, man. What are your bowel motions like now compared to what they were even before you had UC? And then I wanted you to talk about like how the plant-based diet works with training and nutrition for that as well.
Bowel movement, amazing, man. I go to the bathroom like once or twice the most per day. So it's pretty good, pretty clean. Like back then I'll go to the bathroom, it'd be like, like the stool would be like a little hard and like just like soft, clean. Like you can tell your like gut is clean, like it comes out clean, to be honest. Yeah. And, right now I still like do the what do you call it? Morning juicing. I do the morning juicing. Like right now my workouts are like early in the morning. So I'll do that. I still have my smoothies midday. Throughout the day, I have drink a lot of smoothie. Like smoothies.
Fruits are like the performance booster, man. Yeah, it's just next level.
Those are my best friends right now. So I have that all the time. Everywhere I go, I got two big jugs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still do that. I'm still like eating a lot of veggies, just eating a lot. Like back before I was diagnosed and before I turned vegan and stuff, I would eat like 2 meals, lunch, dinner. And right now I have to eat a lot more due to I'll be hungry and I'll have to eat because also I'm running, so like I need a lot of calories, so I eat a lot more.
Yeah, amazing. And what have you found the difference since changing to the plant-based diet for your athletic performance?
Recovery has been much better. Like back then I'll be tired. If I do a workout today, I'll still be tired 3 days later. Now I'll do a hard workout today, I'll be like a little sore and then have a lot of watermelon and what I need to do to recover. And I'm like 2 days later I can do another workout, like body recovery is just much better. I'm able to do more mileage now than before with the healthy eating.
Yeah, you just don't feel as sore, do you? And like just the fatigue isn't there. Like, yeah, and what about DOMS? Like, have you found a benefit with that as well?
What did you say?
DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. Like just,
Oh,
like the yeah.
like yeah, I used to, like every time I do a workout, my calves, like I have a little calves, so they
Mm,
used to be sore. Like it'll be sore every time I do a workout, wear spikes, I do a workout, my calves are like sore. Like every time I do a hard tempo, my calves are sore, my hamstrings are sore. Now I can go do a long workout, like I'll still be good to go. 2 days, 1 day later, 2 days later, my calves are like fine. My hamstrings, like recovery is just amazing. Everything gets recovered quick. This is
that's incredible.
yeah.
That's incredible. Okay, so um yeah, I guess the only things I really want to talk to you about now are like what are some of your goals? Like what do you want to achieve now that you've kind of gone over this, and where do you see your future? And then I'd like you to talk to maybe some advice that you could give to people who are watching. So we'll start off with kind of what you want to achieve and what your goals are, and where you see your future, and then we'll go from there.
Right now I'm like focused on running. So like I want to in the future. I have 2 more years of like college eligibility. So I'll go next 2 years get my master's.
Hmm.
And my goal is to run pretty fast to like where I can make this a living, running a professional life. That's what I'm looking forward to doing it. And I just like with you guys' help that it's not doable than when
Mm,
I was 4. So it's like I just want to continue this and like stay healthy to the point where I can, be a professional runner. Yeah.
amazing. So watch this space, man. Watch this name. You don't
A
know. Watch this space, everyone. That's what I'm saying. Watch this space.
couple years from now. Couple years from
You
now.
watch out.
Something special.
Watch out. Yeah, watch out.
Yeah.
And just in terms of sitting here, having been through what you've been through, um, you know, what advice would you give someone who's sitting there watching this, thinking, "Gee, I don't know about this," or even if it's you, like watching this when you were sick, what kind of advice would you give to somebody watching?
I'll say not to give up. There are things out there that will help you out. Like there are people out there that will provide you the help you need. So don't give up on yourself
Mm,
and chase after whatever you need on your dreams, all your dreams. Don't give up on anything. Like just reach out, ask for the help you need. Yeah.
amazing. And just finally, like, how did you find the overall coaching experience compared to if you tried to do it yourself?
Amazing, man. Amazing. And just meeting with you every 2 weeks. I was looking forward to it every time. I'm like, yeah,
Mm,
we're gonna talk about something today. We're gonna talk about something different. You coaching me through everything I ate, like everything that went to like, to clean my guts. So that's helpful. Like all the meetings that we had, it was all amazing. It was amazing, man.
wonderful, wonderful, bro. Yeah, man, I'm super, super happy for you, man. Like I remember yeah, the first meeting we had and you were just suffering so bad. To see you now. Look at that smile, man. That tells you everything you need to know.
Thanks to
And
you, man. Oh,
yeah,
thanks.
oh man. And yeah, so proud of what you've been able to achieve, and to get your life back on track. And as you said, like to actually have a future, have to think that you can achieve what you dream of, like to have the opportunity to do that. At least you know that you can give it your best shot, and
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
main thing. And this is my favorite part of the interview, man. It's Abdi, man.
yeah.
You now have a life after colitis. Well
Thank
done, dude.
you. Thank you, man. No regrets now. We're gonna go tackle the future. Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. You have done
Awesome.
amazing for me. Like you've done all the I can't thank you enough, to be honest. Like I wouldn't be where I'm at today without you. So thank you.
You're welcome, my friend. You're welcome. This is why we do it. For everyone who's watching this on YouTube or listening on the podcast, I hope you've been inspired by Abdi's story. He's just figured out that he needed to make a change and he went after it. And now he has his life back. He has the opportunity to achieve what he really wants to do in life, and not be shackled with medications, with the disease, with the symptoms. And, we're so proud of him and super, super happy that he's been able to achieve his goal. And we look forward, man, honestly, really look forward to seeing where you take this. So yeah,
Thank
we'll definitely stay in touch.
thank
Um,
you.
and if you're watching or listening to this, please share this, because many people need to know that you can heal colitis, and it's not easy to find this information. So please share it. If you're watching on YouTube, like the video, so that we can spread the message further, and subscribe to the channel so that you get updated for all our recent uploads if you click on that little bell notification icon. Otherwise, thanks very much for watching. Thanks for sharing your story, Abdi.
Thank you. Share this video. You can save a live one. Yeah, by just sharing it. Just go for it. Spread the word. Thank you for having me.
100%, man. And so once again, thanks everyone. Make sure you eat plants and lots of them. Take care.
Yep.